Hello and welcome back to my book nook. So I know it's been a while. I believe it is February 28th. I think it's the last day of February when I am filming this. You guys haven't seen me in a while. I have been in fact filming a vlog. That was supposed to be a week-long vlog and then accidentally turned into a month-long vlog. So that's in the works. I'm not filming that and editing that up today. I think this video is going to be faster to edit, which is crazy. But I do think this video is going to be faster. So this is probably the first video you've seen of me since my readathon ended. So hi, I'm alive. I'm here. I just was really struggling with vlogging for some reason this past month. And so it just, instead of a week-long vlog, it turned into a month-long, and I didn't feel like editing any other videos. It's as simple as that. The other videos that I have pre-filmed already, I just need to be edited. The problem is they are reaction videos, so I have to layer up, like, luckily I did my my slate. I was like, what is that card? I did my slate, so it'll be easy to match up, but I have to go through that whole process. And I really just didn't feel like doing that this month. So that's in the works. But anyways, that is not what y'all came for in this video. I will do all that rambling in the vlog clip. But today, I am doing my TBR Mancala game to create my TBR for the month of March. Now, if you are new to my channel or you haven't seen how I play TBR Mancala, I have a Mancala board that I have swapped out with tiny little flamingos. They're just pink little flamingos. And some of them have numbers on them, like these, and some of them are blank. In fact, only 9 of them have numbers. And what I do is I write down from the 9. So it's like, okay, if I get one of the 9 flamingos with the number, that corresponds to a book. And then depending on who wins in TBR Mancala, like depending on which side, depends on if either I win or the house wins. And that is also another book. So I have the potential to read up to 10 books in 1 month. So here's the thing. Technically I played my game twice today because I filmed it the first time and then I realized I didn't have my mic on or plugged in or anything like that, and so I know the audio is not going to be as good, and so I was like, you know what, I want to redo it. However, it feels like cheating not to do those books, so I rewrote it. So these are the results from my first time, and then I literally rewrote the same books down here. However, for the ones that I had won last time, I put in a new book, so kind of as a punishment because I didn't pay attention and made sure my mic was in, and I chose to refilm it instead of just using that audio. I'm giving myself a punishment, and so I had a book replacement for that. So the first time I had gotten Flamingos 1 and 2, and then the house had 1. And so I had those books, and then I put in replacements. So we are going to go through my results and whatnot, but before we do that, I'm going to jump to past me, like 10 minutes ago me, and we're going to play my TBR game. Full transparency, this is take 2. I think I'm going to mention this in my intro, but yeah, this is take 2. So just so you can see that I am in fact putting them back. So these are Flamingos 1 and 2 that I got last time I set all of this up. But I realized I didn't have my mic, so we're doing this again. You can see I just literally just grab all of these, and then it's just 4 to a slot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I will cut to when I have all of this prepped and ready. Okay, so I now have all of my flamingos set up. Yes, I literally do film this sitting on my floor in front of my couch, and this is the angle that you get. But we're gonna go ahead and we are going to start again. As always, I literally don't have any rhyme or reason to how I play TBR Mancala. I just literally grab flamingos and I go. So we're just going to speed run this because I have no clue what I'm going to be doing with the footage from take 1. So I won. This I think is actually the first time I won, and technically this is the second time I'm filming this, so I don't know if that really counts or not, but you know what, we're using this for this month, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to grab out all of my flamingos with numbers so we can see what we got. You know what? It is what it is. So I managed to, again, only have 2 out of the 9 flamingos with numbers. And so I believe they are numbers 1 and 9, I think. Let me go find 7 to make sure I wrote them the correct way, but I think they're numbers 1 and 9. I don't think this is 6. I do think this is 9. So let me just verify that. I will grab my books and then I'll meet you up on the couch. All right, so you just saw the clip of me playing it the second time. I like overlaid the first time I played it with just audio. I don't know. I haven't edited it yet. I don't even know if I'm gonna use that footage. But either way, the first time I did it, I got flamingos 1 and 2, which that I at least can show you that little clip of me winning that. So for slot number 1, for the first time, I did Caught Up by Navessa Ellen. So this is one that has been actually on my TBR Mancala game for a few months now. I think back in like September or October, I think I put it on. Like, it's been on a few of these, and the last one I did was November. So I know at least, actually October was my readathon, so it wasn't even October. So probably September. I think September it was on there, November it was on there, and it never got selected, so I never prioritized it. However, I kind of sort of cheated a little bit with books that I knew I kind of had to read. Those are on this list. It just kind of helped me choose the order. So the reason Caught Up is on this is because the 3rd book in this trilogy comes out at the end of March. And I have a rule that I have to read the sequels before I can purchase the follow-ups, which means I have to read book 2 before book 3 comes in. If I don't read book 2 before book 3 is scheduled to be delivered to my house, I have to cancel book 3, and I don't want to do it. I am enjoying the series. I have heard good things about book 2 as well, so I need to prioritize this. The problem is that I have to read it physically, and so I just have been kind of a little bit on a slump, a little bit like reading physically for a lot of books, so that's why I hadn't gotten to this one, but it's a super fast reader, at least the first one was, so I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to read Caught Up by Navessa Allen. Then I had also gotten flamingo number 2, which was King of Sloth by Anna Wong. So this is almost a slight exception to the rule just because of how much I'm playing catch up. So I have books 4 and 5 on my shelves. Yes, books 4 and 5 on my shelves that I don't have read. Book 5 came out last year. I had pre-ordered it. It got delivered before I had read books 3 and 4. I read book 3 last year, sort of, then I DNF'd it. Haven't continued on. Book 6 comes out, I think, April 7th. I have it written down somewhere, but I think it's like April 3rd or April 7th. It's like the first week of April, which means, in theory, I need to read King of Sloth, which is book 4, and then King of Envy, which is book 5. And that would be a good book to read in March because the King of Envy, it's a green book. March, St. Patty's Day, it's green, all that. So in theory, I would like to read King of Sloth and King of Envy. However, I will not be canceling that pre-order, even if I don't finish both of them, just because this is an author that I absolutely love, and I want to read them. It's just a little bit slow, but we are changing that this year. So at the very least, I am going to hopefully be reading King of Sloth in March. So like I said, the first time I played the house one, which for that was Dragon Cursed by Elise Kova. Technically, this does not fall under my rule of I have to read the books that I pre-ordered that came in. I have to read those before the next one comes out. Because I technically tried to read it. I tried to listen to the audiobook, and I just really was not vibing with it. And so I was like, okay, I don't want that to ruin my reading experience. I'm going to read this physically. And so that, like, I also try to limit the number of books that I'm physically reading at a time, so that way I can just, because I'm slowing down my reading and whatnot. So this book is also YA. So I'm hesitant. However, I love her adult books that I have read from her. She's got multiple series. The Arcana Academy is one that came out last year. Absolutely obsessed with that. Loved it. Devoured it. It's like a tarot magic. And that sequel comes out later. So I am hoping, because I like her adult works and I like her writing style, I'm hoping this one doesn't fall into the issues that I'm having nowadays with YA being like very young and juvenile, like too young and juvenile. Like, as like I understand there is a purpose. I'm just not the target audience because I personally do not care and want to read about the day-to-day grievances that 14 and 15-year-olds in high school are going through. I just don't. Um, I did at once upon a time, but I am past that. I am now a 30-year-old woman with a child of my own. So I'm not interested in reading those books, and that's fine. There is an audience for it. I'm hoping that I like this one though. So this one, I remembered what it was at one point. I definitely read it, but it's got dragons in it, and I think there's trials, maybe, I don't know. But I do know there's dragons in it. There's a curse. I'm excited for it. I want to read it. So that was the results from the first time I played this game. Like I said, I played this a second time. So because of that, and I gave myself that penalty if I chose a flamingo that I had previously chosen, I didn't want it to just be a cheat of like, oh, well, guess you don't have to. No, so the second time around, because the first time I had to put the flamingos back in the container to properly play and give it a fair shot. So the second time around, I got flamingos 1 and 9. I did verify this is a 9, not a 6, with how I wrote them. So 1, as you can see, I already chose 1. So 1, I had a punishment book because I wasn't going to read Caught Up twice. So instead, for that, I put Violet Thistlewaite is not a villain anymore. This cover is just so springy and fun, and it's a kind of cozy romantasy, I believe, of, you know, a villain who retires and, you know, wants to live the good life. And so I saw this at Half Price Books one of the times that I was there selling my books, and it sounded interesting to me, and I got it, and so I want to buy it. Like, because I didn't pre-order this wasn't necessarily ever going to get on a priority list of like, I have to read this before I can read the other one. So I just want to make sure I'm reading all of my books. And this one just seems like such a fun spring read, and we're going into spring. It doesn't feel like it because today is a high of 91. Thank you, Arizona. But I'm very excited to be reading this one. So this is what I got for Flamingo number 1. And then I got book number 9. And book number 9 was How to Lose a Goblin in 10 Days by Jessie Silva. And this is a book that I bought on my birthday. So I bought 2 books on my birthday when I was out with my husband. We went to Barnes & Nobles, and I got this one, which was How to Lose a Goblin in 10 Days. And then the other one was The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Long, maybe? I can't read that from here. But The Teller of Small Fortunes, that was the other book that I bought. So my birthday was almost a month ago now, like 3-4 weeks. And I just also am really excited to read this, and I think it'll be fun. I think it's kind of like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but it's goblins and they're roommates and they're trying to, I think it'll be funny. I think it'll be cozy, low stakes. It sounds fun. I can't remember if they are, like, what genders these characters are, but I don't care. I think this is going to be fun. So I just know that I have a goblin and a halfling, and I think it's going to be fun. So this is the book that I have for number 9. And then I won. Oops, sorry, Mike. I won the second time around, which I think is also the first time that I have won TBR Mancala. I think usually the house wins, but that's fine. Usually what I do for TBR Mancala for myself is if I win, I choose a book that I am already reading, actively in the part of reading. I should have done that for this one, and then this should have been another book. However, there is by the time I'm filming this and by the time I edit and upload this, which is going to hopefully be within a day or 2, I'm hoping that my current read is going to be done. But this is a book that I put on last month's TBR, which I filmed that at the beginning of the vlog that you haven't seen yet. And that is Go Luck Yourself by Sarah Rash. This is a reread for me. So this is part of the Holiday Prince series. I don't remember quite what exactly this series is. I think it's the Holiday Princess, something like that. Oh, Royals and Romance. It's right here, Royals and Romance. Where they're like the children of like, so each holiday has like a royal family and whatnot. And so this one follows the second son of Santa and the Prince of St. Patrick's Day. Well, sort of Santa. He was Santa, and then Santa retired in the first book, and so now it's his brother that's Santa. Either way, it's one of the Christmas princes and the Prince of St. Patrick's Day. I read this last year, absolutely loved it. Like I love all of her adult stuff that I have that I've read. Actually, all of her adult stuff. I think I've read all of her adult stuff as of right now. Absolutely love all of it. She has another one coming out in, not in this series, but in another series coming out in May. Either way, I'm rambling. But this is their love story. This is their romance. This is a book that I have read before. Absolutely loved it. Why am I reading it now? Well, remember Princess St. Patrick's Day, March, St. Patrick's Day, time wise. Yep. You see it. I am reading this because, like, rereading this now. One, because it's relevant seasonally. However, I also want to annotate this book. Last year, in like December 2024, going into January 2025, I believe was the time frame, I started annotating books, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I've only done two so far, so this will be the third one, but I really enjoy annotating, kind of like my favorite books. I super mark these up. I do not care that they're sprayed edges. If I want to annotate the book, I'm going to annotate the book. It is what it is. These are my books. They bring me joy. And so I am really excited to annotate this. Ooh, excuse me. But that's the book that I have for me winning. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. I could have counted that because I got 2 flamingos each time. So yes, I have 6 books that I'm going to attempt to be reading in the month of March. I have no clue how many of these I am actually going to get to, but I am very excited about all of these. I need to go look to see which ones that I can get from my library, which ones I can get like via audiobook and ebook, and just like look at all my resources to see how many I can find in other formats versus just physical. Because I mean, go like yourself, because I'm annotating this, obviously I have to read this physically, and because I'm annotating it, it's going to take me much longer to read than any of the other books that I would read physical. Caught Up, I do know I have to read physically. King of Sloth, I think I can read ebook. Dragon Cursed, oh yeah, that one, unless I can find an ebook of that, I have to also read that one physically. So basically we're down to 2 books on if I'm going to be reading pretty much my entire TBR this month physically, or if I get at least 1 audiobook. But you know what? We're gonna figure that out. That is future Lex's problem. But that is it for this video, you guys. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up if you want. If you don't, that's cool too. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!